The weight of silence. What if I told you that the strongest person in any room is often the one who says the least? Not because they are shy, but because they have mastered the art of silence. In a world that demands noise, they choose calm. Where others post, shout, and beg to be seen, they move quietly, intentionally, powerfully. These individuals are not weak, they are warriors. But their battles are not always visible. Their power is not in volume, but in stillness. Their discipline is not a performance, it is a promise. They do not speak to be heard, they act to be remembered. They do not argue to be right, they stay quiet to remain in control. And they do not fear chaos, for they are the calm within it. This is Stoicism, a path for those who seek mastery not through talk, but through practice. A code followed by emperors, soldiers, and thinkers who shaped history. And if you follow it, not only will you speak less, think less, and work more, you will become unshakable. Part 1. Think less. The warrior mind. We are trained to believe that thinking is always helpful, but overthinking is the great thief of action. It is the enemy of movement. It disguises itself as preparation, but delivers only delay. The Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The Stoic mind is like a blade, sharp, focused, precise. It does not chase endless possibilities. It asks one question: what must be done? It cuts through distractions. It discards what cannot be controlled. And it acts. Overthinkers ask, what if I fail? The Stoic asks, what is required of me right now? One lives in fear, the other in action. Because clarity does not precede action, it follows it. The path becomes clear by walking it. You must train your mind to think just enough to move, and then trust your training. Trust your duty. Trust the discipline you built. Because every action you take despite fear redefines who you are. You are no longer a victim of your thoughts. You are their commander. The mind, if not properly guided, becomes a battlefield. Doubts, insecurities, regrets, these become the fog that blinds action. The Stoic doesn't try to win every internal battle with logic alone. He shifts focus, from fear to purpose, from outcome to process, from thoughts to deeds. Every time you interrupt the loop of overthinking with decisive action, you reclaim your life. You show yourself that you are not a passive witness to your thoughts, you are their architect. Thought without action creates worry, but action fuels confidence. And through repeated action, you develop a calm mind. Not because your problems are gone, but because you've trained yourself to rise above them. That is the warrior mind. Part 2. Talk less. The art of silent power. Talk is cheap, but silence is priceless. In today's world, silence is rebellion. Social media has made performance a habit. People post their opinions before they've even formed them. They speak before they understand. They argue for likes instead of truth. But the Stoic does not perform, he embodies. Epictetus taught, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. The Stoic speaks rarely but with force. Each word is measured, each sentence is earned. He does not gossip, he does not argue to win. He listens, not because he's weak, but because he is always learning. To stay silent in a world addicted to noise is to claim your energy. It is to stand apart. It is to speak only when your words improve upon silence. Talking less means you conserve your fire. It means when you do speak, people listen, because they know you're not speaking out of ego. You're speaking from clarity, from strength. When others yell, the Stoic observes. When others panic, the Stoic breathes. The louder the world gets, the more powerful silence becomes. We live in an era where being seen has become more important than being wise. Everyone wants a platform, a microphone, an audience. But the Stoic chooses reflection over reaction. He is never rushed to answer. He understands the weight of words. He watches people expose their weaknesses through endless speech, and he protects his energy by being selective. Not every invitation to argue deserves your time. Not every insult needs a response. The Stoic is not passive, he is patient. He knows that silence does not mean surrender. It means power under control. You earn respect not by demanding it, but by being so consistent in your presence that it can't be ignored. Silence in its truest form is strength. Part 3. Work more, the sacred grind. This is the heart of Stoicism. Not philosophy, not thought, not talk, but work. Seneca reminded us, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. The Stoic doesn't wait for motivation. He doesn't need applause. He works. While others dream, he executes. While others wait for the right time, he creates it. He understands that greatness is not in intention. It is in repetition, in waking up early, in journaling, in training, in facing hard things daily. Every act of discipline is a brick laid on the foundation of a future self. He does not fear pain. He works with it. He does not seek comfort. He sacrifices it, because he knows that comfort is the enemy of growth, and that true freedom only comes through earned strength. He doesn't look at clocks. He looks at commitment. He doesn't measure progress by applause, but by how often he shows up, even when no one is watching. His grind is his prayer, his sweat, his proof, and his legacy is built in silence. The Stoic doesn't glamorize suffering, but he respects it, because he knows that comfort makes men soft and adversity sharpens the spirit. He doesn't wait for the world to validate his effort. His validation is the quiet confidence that grows with every disciplined day. When others take shortcuts, he takes the long way, because it's the right way. He understands that mastery isn't found in bursts of effort, but in daily, deliberate consistency. A Stoic's identity is not what he says he wants, it's what he does repeatedly. He views setbacks as signals to adapt, not reasons to quit. He sees fatigue as evidence of work well done, not as a reason to stop. His life is his practice. His actions are his philosophy. Part 4. The Stoic Path. Unshakable living. The Stoic path is not glamorous. It will not trend. It will not be easy, but it will be real. It will be solid. It will be yours. This path asks for presence, not perfection. It asks for commitment, not attention. It asks that you build a life so grounded that no storm can move you. When you think less, you stop overanalyzing your worth. When you talk less, you stop leaking your power. When you work more, you start to build a foundation that no one can take from you. Stoicism is not about denying emotion. It is about directing it. It is about doing the right thing, especially when it is hard, especially when it is lonely, especially when it is thankless. It's about becoming the type of person who is strong enough to be kind, wise enough to be calm, and disciplined enough to endure. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs more grounded souls. And if you live by these principles, you will not need validation. You will not need defense, because your life will speak for itself. Stoicism is not a performance nor a lifestyle brand. It's a way of walking through the fire without losing your shape. It's the art of enduring discomfort without complaint, of holding yourself to standards even when the world offers excuses. It's the daily decision to rise above emotion, above distraction, and above ego. Every time you live stoically, you deepen your roots. You become someone others can depend on, not because you are invincible, but because you are unwavering. You do not shout your values, you embody them. You do not react, you respond. And in a chaotic world, this is not just rare, it is revolutionary. Final message: the choice is yours. You are one decision away from power, not the kind they sell you, but the kind you build. Quiet, unshakable, yours. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to wait for a sign. You need to begin. Begin by saying less. Begin by thinking clearly. Begin by doing relentlessly. If this message resonated with something inside you, then don't let it fade. Don't scroll to the next hit of distraction. Sit with it. Let it dig deep, and then stand up and live it. Because real strength is not shown, it is earned. The choice is in your hands. To keep following the path of distraction, reaction, and noise, or to break free and walk a different road. A road that leads inward, a road paved by discipline, a road walked by few, but remembered forever. You were not born to blend in with the noise. You were born to stand firm in silence. You were born for more, and that more begins when you decide to take responsibility for your mind, your words, your work, and your life. That is the Stoic path, and it begins now.